Anakin Skywalker still.
About what?
Hey, 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 here we go once again. Set me straight with fam. And my name, Bobby B. And I'm with my boy today, Joshua and Jordan. We're here today, man, because we're in Oxnard, California. We're about to go over there and see what's going on. You know what I'm saying? Everybody, I know you guys, all you guys were listening to what's happening at the camp. You know what I'm saying? We listening too. You know what I'm saying? We heard what we were talking about. We seen the videos. That's right. We saw the crap, you know, everything was going on over there. But we came here to find out what's true. What's going on. Who's doing some dominating. Who's being dominated. Whatever the case is, we're going to find out tonight. And we're going to go there in the morning to rehearsal, to training tomorrow. And I know, right? We're going to training tomorrow, and we're going to see what it looks like, man. We're going to take some serious notes and come back tomorrow, hit this off again, let you guys know what we found and see, was the reporters reporting correctly? Is it really what they're doing? We're gonna check that out. So man, it's gonna be fun, you know what I'm saying, get out there and see what them boys are doing. So how you guys feeling about that, right there, being able to see them Cowboys right up front? You know? Jordan, what you feeling? Joshua, what you feeling?
Honestly, I am pretty excited. It's before the Dallas Cowboys acquired Christian Parker, if you had told me that I was going to be in Oxnard, California this year looking at training camp, I would have told you lost your ever-loving mind. And so many things happened between the end of the season and now that has got my hopium up.
Hopium.
Hopium.
I think what did I have the Cowboys at?
5 wins, 4
the records. I think I pushed it up. I think I pushed it up.
That was later you did, but
so I'm like, I went from 5 wins, 3 to 5 wins to 7 wins. Now I'm almost venturing from 9 wins, 10 wins right now. I
just 9 and 10.
I'm thinking I might be lowballing it. This is the reason why we're gonna see what we're gonna see. I'm seeing all these reports. We're gonna talk about the Siobhan Revels of the words, the Kobe Durant's acquisitions, the Jalen Thompson. Hopefully he practices tomorrow. All this stuff for Sean Gary. I'm like 6-7 about him, but I still think that we got a lot. And Jerry Jones making his, how should I say, his Jerryisms and his predictions out there and his proclamations that we possibly might get somebody. So
right.
I think this is the reason. Those are the reasons why I'm here today. So
what about you, Jordan?
I'm super happy to be here with the family. That's what I'm happy with. We don't ever get to see Josh in person, so we not only get to be around each other, but we get to go see our beloved Cowboys. And like Josh said, it's actually exciting to be excited about the Cowboys. I think nobody was excited at the end of the season, but with the acquisition of CP and with the acquisition of a lot of the players like Caleb Downs.
Oh my gosh, forgot about that. Yeah.
Yeah, Caleb Downs and this new regime. So it's exciting to see a second year with Pickens in Dak and to see what that looks like. So it's gonna be fun going to training camp and just I've never been to a training camp, so it's gonna be fun to see I guess we only see clips and like some YouTube videos, but to see a whole practice get carried out.
I've never been there either.
Yeah, so that's gonna be fun and exciting to see. Maybe this might become a yearly thing if it turns out good. So I'm excited.
Yeah, this is good. I got to touch back what you said this a while ago, but yeah, to have, like you say, hopeism. You know,
Hopium.
that is true because
I'm gonna steal that too.
Hopium.
Yeah.
yeah, hopeism. Yeah, that's a good one. Because I mean,
'Cause I
you
think
know,
we got a large
that's
dose.
almost like a lifeline, right? I mean, we all was like sinking into that doomsday era, and then I guess CP and what they still would give us lifeline, was able to hold us and say, pull us out of that abyss that we was sinking into.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because I was like, man, this is, the way things was going and where we were.
Yeah.
It was like a no end in sight.
Because even though we had those extra draft capital, I think we were still in that doomsday mentality. Like, who cares what draft picks we have? The Cowboys gonna mess it up.
And see, and that's the thing too. Like, I was telling, like, that's the thing. If it was just the draft picks, we probably would not have as much. If it was just the coaching change, and this coaching change is phenomenal. Like, we'll get to that.
I'm sorry to cut you off, but even with the draft capital, because we knew we had the draft capital beforehand, but it wasn't until Christian Parker came on that we were actually excited about the draft.
Right.
Because even when the draft was coming, we were like, man, they gonna mess it up.
Don't care.
Yeah.
So Christian Parker and Shoddy actually, and Christian Parker is making everything 10 times more exciting.
I think that was the first sign that Dallas were doing something different.
Yeah, for sure.
And I think that was what got us to a point that's like, wait a minute, we are notorious as Dallas fans. We're notorious, and I'm not talking about us, specifically. I'm talking about it as a Dallas fan. Notorious to be like, oh, we're gonna win. Or we coming back, we're gonna do it great. But on our show, we neglected to fall into that scheme. We were like, no,
you got optimism, you got pessimism over there.
Yeah.
So it's a healthy balance.
Yeah, it's like, no, that ain't happening, But this is a time that I think it's legitimate for a Dallas fan to really have hopeism that this is going to be better this year. And we've been seeing these things go out so many different times, so many different ways, ended up with the same results. We've seen the way the front office do their business. We get upset about it, we talk about it, and we see a trend, right? But now it's something different.
And I'm gonna stick on that too, because like you were saying, the trend on how the Dallas Cowboys has been moving. It's the biggest slogan here from Stephen Jones. Everybody knows it. We love our guys. We love our guys. We love our guys. If this year was any indication how far away from that mantra, that philosophy that they have, is I don't know what to tell you, because like, first of all, they pretty much got rid of a lot of their defensive draft picks, right? I think over half the starters right now.
They cut the fat.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Over half the starters, even like some players that we really didn't want to have, right? It's one of those things like when the removal of Osa Odigizua. I mean, I know that Jordan and I didn't like that move, but like that's some of the things that you would normally not see. In fact, if somebody had told us a year ago,
it's not that we didn't like it. We didn't like the compensation. And
that's true. But like, But a year or two ago, they probably, if somebody had said that they're gonna remove Osa,
yeah, they probably would have been like, no.
Especially during his contract year, before his contract year,
because they like to ride out contracts.
Yeah, and this is like right after they paid him too. So like we would have been like, no,
it's unheard of.
Yeah, especially unheard of. Like you're out of your mind. So they got rid of him. The biggest thing, they got rid of Micah. They got rid of Micah.
I thought for you was gonna say Mozzie.
Mozzie, yeah. Well, that's another thing too. They usually they stick it out. There's one thing that Jerry and Stephen Jones does. They will stick out
a contract.
They will stick out a contract, and they'll try to figure out how to use you. Like, we are going to get our money's worth out of you, and then you can leave. But nope.
Well, but I think Micah was different though.
Is it?
I think Micah was a vendetta.
I told you guys that Micah was different, and Micah was going to be. Now, looking back at it with hindsight, I could say Micah
was the beginning probably.
Micah was when the initial trade talks came out, I was telling you guys, I think Micah's gonna be gone. You were adamant.
Yeah, I was hungry.
Adamant.
Yeah,
I didn't think so. I didn't believe it.
I was definitely against
I was on like Micah's different just because of his mentality, but like if we were all do this all over again, and Micah was to do it all over again, because I know Micah regrets leaving the Cowboys.
He does.
Yeah, he's super.
Especially
regrets.
now.
Oh yeah.
Especially now.
He can't keep the Cowboys out of his mouth.
Yeah.
But I would go back and be like you. Oh no, he's not leaving because he really does want to be a Cowboy. But I felt like it was different from him between everybody else. I don't know what it was. Mika just carries himself there. I think he runs to the beat of his own drum is why I thought that.
Yeah, I think it was a vendetta because, like you said, for one, he was being very vocal, being bigger than Jerry. You know what I'm saying? Because he wants to be in charge. He wants to be the one who run things. He wants to be that guy to say, "I'm running my own show," and then have the backing of his guy who take care of what his guy, this agent. You know what I'm saying? So they would,
I forgot his name.
Jerry was like, "No, you're not the boss here, buddy." You know what I'm saying? I run this, and then he went forth and say, I went and I talked to you and I pulled you in, and then you go. Then when he went back and did that, trying to say like I didn't tell him that. You know what I'm saying? We made this deal and whatever the case is, and because Jerry wanted to be ahead of it, he wants to be the one, and then he wasn't going. He wasn't giving Jerry that platform.
I think that was the beginning of something. Probably you could probably even go back even further. Probably more so, it was the hiring of Schottenheimer was probably like, hey, that probably like signified. I don't think Jerry realized how much different it was going to be at that point.
I'm going to push back on what you guys are saying because I don't think nothing changed until I will tell you what I think.
Oh, I don't think nothing changed. I don't think until CP and all of them.
No, I think so.
No.
I think it happened when after Micah left, things changed. When's the last time that the Cowboys have acquired a premium player? Never mind, because you're right. I guess because I was going to say Quentin Williams. Because we can venture out to be that wide receiver from the Raiders.
But we
Amari
gave up
Cooper.
So
yeah, I said yeah.
But to give up a premium player like Micah.
Well, that's because, like I was saying, Micah pushed Jerry to the corner because, to me, Micah comes from Pittsburgh. Like, he comes from that. So his mentality, I think, was different from a lot of other Cowboys who most of the time are a lot of Dallas natives, so they really want to stay in Dallas. So Micah was more about his money. But for me, what I think actually changed and moved us into the Hopium era is Jerry Jones blaming Shoddy for picking our last defensive coordinator. What did I used to call him?
Michael Eberflus.
I said Eber something else.
Eberflunk.
Yeah, I think that's what I used to call him. But I think
by the way.
that
Sorry.
I think that is the
change.
I think that was the change.
Or the straw that broke the camel's back.
I think that was the change when Jerry Jones got on the press conference and to press and kind of blamed Shoddy for having Eberflus on the team. I think that for Shoddy was like, okay, if you're gonna blame me, Jerry, you're gonna let me do it how I want to do it. You're gonna let me pick the coach, defense coordinator that I want to pick. You're gonna let him get rid of all your guys, all the get along gang guys, and we're gonna redo the whole defensive coaching staff from the ground up.
Not only that, but the coaching staff and the players.
Right.
Like nobody was safe.
I think that is what, to me, what changed everything.
Well, it's kind of hard. I can't debate that. I just know Micah wasn't the first change. I know that was completely different. That's how I feel. But
yeah,
I know when CP and all of them came, that would kind of let me. Now, what led up to allow them to have that change?
Yeah.
I can't debate that because I don't know, but I do know that's when I start seeing it's something changing.
Yeah.
Something going on.
To me, that's where I saw the change. Because after, if you go back and watch that press conference, look at Shotty's face when Jerry straight up kind of blames him for Matt Eberflus. He's like, oh,
it was so
like
crazy.
he was shocked.
It was
like
so crazy.
That came out of his mouth.
I remember I told you, you were like, Jerry didn't say that, and I'm like, bro, he said it was Shotty that picked Matt Eberflus.
Wow.
And like I remember Jordan was like,
and I was like,
way.
that doesn't even make sense if you look at the timeline of everything of when he
Nobody
got hired.
thought it made sense.
Of when Shotty got hired and then when Matt Eberflus got hired. He didn't even have the necessary time to vet a defensive coordinator. He just took on what Jerry probably sat on his table.
But you know what's funny though? But right now, you know, one thing Jerry always revert to now about the picks is, you know, Shotty has vetted 45 different people. He went through.
And that's the difference between this year and last year. Right. And Shotty's like, okay, if you're gonna blame me, I want to take the blame for you.
Right.
So you're gonna let me vet. I'm gonna do 20 interviews. I'm gonna do.
He's there.
And then on top of that, I'm gonna let my
newly
newly defensive coordinator that I picked basically pick all the defensive coaching staff, and I'm gonna go with him, and that's gonna be on me.
And not only that, my new defensive coordinator, who need to leave?
Yeah,
that's crazy.
Yeah.
The folks got who like, it's your slip.
And then on top of that,
it's your slip.
On top of that, I'm gonna let my defensive coordinator get the #1 pick that he wants.
Yeah.
And Caleb Downs.
Hey, shouts
if
out.
You hear anything Christian Parker said, Caleb Downs was #1 on his board. Like he was getting. He didn't care how it was gonna get done.
I want to stop it right there because shouts out to Crown Global Media when they did the interview with Will McClay. Did y'all know that it was a 3% chance? Their models had a 3% chance of them actually picking up Caleb Downs.
Yeah, but things roll in their favor.
3% chance. That is crazy.
But that's what they wanted, though.
Yeah.
If he's there, we going with him.
Because we was scared. We was like, dang, the Giants could take Caleb Downs right here.
Right.
And they didn't, and I'm like, dang, that's crazy. Hopefully that Malik Neighbors was scared. So.
Hey, he's everything in order. But like, go back into like that. So Christian Parker did his pick to staff. It's not like all the other times where like I can't believe I'm going to say this because I always defend this guy all the time. Like Mike McCarthy, Matt Eberflus.
See, that's
or the other ones where they picked their guys, where they took the guys with them. They actually did interviews.
Right. And you notice the difference in the way Jerry and Steven talk now. Like you said earlier, they're no longer saying, I'm good with my guys. I think that was based on the coach. McCarthy is just going to coach whoever they bring on. So if the coaches are not going to give them, the head coach is not going to give you any pushback on the GMs on who's on this team, then I'm going to say we're good with my guys. But if Christian Parker and Shotty are going to sit here and go, I'm not good with these guys, Jerry. I didn't bring in Mozzie. Why is Mozzie on the team? You good? No, get him out of here. Right. Hey, somebody had to come because we even said that. Where is Odigizua going to fit in on this defense scheme? Where is he going to play? We talked about that. And what happened? Hey, we got to do something with this. So
Wilson, not a safety.
Wilson. You good with those guys? You telling me you're good with those? And that's my thing about Mike McCarthy that you give him a lot of credit for, but that's where I don't give him credit for. Because Mike McCarthy was not going to the combine. No. He wasn't going to look at these players. He was letting Jerry and them. How are you going to let Jerry and them do it? But that's my point. It's different between this coaching regime and the last coaching regime. It seems like now that Shotty has a second year under his belt, he can go and say, hey, this is what my offense did, so let me focus on my defense. Yeah. Let me go and blow up everything that happened.
But you're right, and I think, and at the same time, this to me is almost twofold because what Jerry is also doing is removing any accountability to what may happen this year. which is crazy because now if this come up to be good,
Oh, he's taking all of that.
Oh yeah, he's definitely gonna take all the credit.
Yeah, he
but,
taking all the
but,
credit.
but right now
he lived an excellent.
he says it over and over again that it was Shoddy. It was Shoddy who did all of the interviews and all of this stuff. So Shoddy, and it's cool because Shoddy's like, I'm taking this, you know, on my shoulder right now, and if we're gonna do or die with this right here, and I'm going for it, and which is cool. So
that's why when you guys said, when I asked you who, if we could interview somebody out of all, you guys said Christian Parker, if we could interview somebody at the camp,
Definitely
you interview Christian Parker. I would want to interview Shoddy, if not, like I said, Cooper Beebe.
Right.
Because of that, because I would like to ask him a few more questions and pick his brain on how he feels training camp is going and things like that.
Right.
And also his plans on, well, he's spoken on some of the plans for the offense.
Yeah, but I just think the biggest story, even though Shoddy is a story, I'm not taking that away from Shoddy. I just think the biggest storyline throughout the season is going to be CP.
Yes.
I think that's going to be because we're coming from not almost the worst.
Yeah, but say not almost.
but I had to say almost, but almost the worst in NFL history. Not Dallas. Yeah. We was on schedule. We was on path to be the worst defense in NFL history in that season. And then we got the Quentin wins, and we got those little changes, and we kind of made some adjustments, and then we started winning some games or whatever, and things kind of slightly. And when I say slightly, I'm talking minuscule, slightly changed. We got off that path to being the worst defense in the NFL history. We still were dead last, but you know what I'm saying. But we wasn't as bad as the history has in the NFL, which we were on our way. And now you got that, and he's coming in making these drastic changes. Shoddy is basically like you said, but because of these changes, and then you got CP who going to be, they're sitting him right there saying, okay, this is yours, and what you gonna do with it, and him by his history of getting to the position that he was, and if you turn this thing around, man, to be even, like you were saying, I think you were saying, if we top 15, if we even get to top 15,
should we get to top 20?
it's going to be a story.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's going to be a story. I believe it's going to be higher than that, but if we, like you said, if we even get to top 15, it's going to be a story.
Yeah. If they get a one certain person, if they get one or two good people, I think they can be higher than that. A defensive end who rhymes with Rosby, or a linebacker who rhymes with Shooks. Yeah, that's just not gonna happen.
So guys, tell me this. We going there tomorrow, right?
Okay.
Which is gonna be exciting just by getting out and just to see those boys and see how they physically do with pads. Cause that's what we wanted to be here. We want to get here when they actually play having pass them, because we saw the videos, and if you give Dak Prescott time, with two receivers like CD and GP, that boy hurts you. But now we're going to see pass on pass, and see if our defense how many times that offense going to allow our defense in the back to get in that backfield to disrupt Dak in any way. That's what we're looking for. But what is your most exciting thing that you're looking forward to seeing when you get there tomorrow?
Oof. Are we talking from a holistic aspect, or are we talking about from player v player?
Like when we're sitting in the bleachers, who are you going to be focused on?
I mean, holistically speaking, oh God, man.
That's a lot of things.
For me, I don't put like I was telling y'all earlier, I don't put too much stock in overall training camp as far as who's getting what reps and how they're getting, because I feel like things change during the season. Players start playing different during the season, during training camp. I feel like, for me, I'm looking at who looks healthy. Like Chevelle, does he look healthy? I'm going to look at, Steele and Guyton are the main people. I'm really going to be looking at the O-line and how do
D-line.
they look? Yeah, how do they look as far as being healthy, continuity, and are they doing the little things right? Are their techniques good right? I think that's more training camp is getting everyone acclimated to preparing for the season and everybody getting their technique down and the scheme down. That's what I'm gonna be excited to look at is
So
the
yeah,
O line and probably some corner play, safety
Yeah.
play for sure.
I want to look at some concepts. Like I really want to know what. Like I know they're not going to do like too many stunts and exactly what, you know, CB's going to be doing this season. But from like a holistic aspect, I want to know how player, not acquisition, but not even disposition, but how he inputs the players into the scheme and how what their role is and how that differs from the last game. So I want to know what this 3-4 base defense with a 4-3 look. I want to know what that is. Like I have an idea, but I really want to know what that is. But as you were saying, Siobhan Revell versus CeeDee Lamb and GP, right? I'm seeing these clips. I want to see if he's consistent because he's getting a little grabby, whatever like that. But I'm noticing though that speed is crazy. So I want to see that in real life. Kobe Durant, we have this little ongoing thing. I think he's CB1, but probably it's going to be, what's his face. But he's having the best camp out of all of them. But it's probably going to be Deron Bland. But I still think he's CB1. And Jalen Thompson. And I really want to see our rookies. That's who I really want to see. I want to see how is Caleb Downs is advertised. Is Malachi Lawrence somebody that's going to be like not a impact player, but somebody that's a rotational piece? Is this a viable rotational piece, right? I want to see Jayshon Barham. People are saying now that's DeMarvion Overshawn versus Jayshon Barham. I want to see. They're like, hey, DeMarvion Overshawn is a safety turn linebacker, and Jayshon Barham is a original linebacker that plays some defensive ends or whatever like that. And they all meet in the middle of linebacker or whatever like that. So I really want to see that. Obviously, we all know that DeMarvion Overshawn is going to probably be the first round. But I want to see if there's a way how Jayshon Barham can be implemented into that first, defense or whatever like that. So there's a lot of things that's, and then our guy, TG, Tyler Guyton. Tyler Guyton. I want to see that improvement. There's so many things, like every single player I want to see, but those are the main things that I want to see.
Now, are they saying Tyler Guyton is actually improving? Are you seeing videos that say he's improving?
Bro, yes, he's. I will say this. I won't say because with Tyler Guyton, when you say he's improving, it's very hard to say that he's improving. In order for you to know if Tyler Guyton's improving, the biggest thing when it comes to O-line is consistency, right? Consistency is the thing, because there can be times where, like, you'll see a clip or two where he blocked off Quinnen Williams, and that's really hard to do. But like, I don't know if Quiddy's doing that with Rashawn Gary and all of them, or I know Quinnen Williams is defensive tackle or whatever like that, but like at the same time, I don't know if he's consistently doing it. Is he winning most of his reps like you want him to do, or is he like his fundamentals are like lacking,
And is Quinnen Williams actually going 100%? That's why I think these training camp things to me is like why I'm like,
See, that's why they're having. So I guess the biggest thing that you probably want to see would be.
I'd say that Quinnen Williams is not trying to give it his all, but at the same time, he's not trying to tear his head off like he would in an actual game. That's why I think that when we get to the NFL games, it changes.
I think it changes, but I don't think that they're going half. If you go half speed, that's room for injury.
Yeah, I'm not saying they're going half speed, but they're not. He's
not putting in 100.
He's not trying to rip the dude's head off. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
That's why I'm saying for stuff like that, it's hard to gauge.
Yeah, and
he had a good rep with Quinnen Williams, but how do you know Quinnen Williams was really trying to
get him off him?
Yeah, the game is on like because if you tell me if we're talking about in game and Quinnen Williams is on the opposite side, I think he's not. He's whooping Tyler Guyton. Just
all time.
9 out of 10 reps.
9 out of 10.
And the 9th one, the 10th rep, It's Tyler guy who got tired.
Yeah, and like right, we get it. Look, guys, we get it. He's a defensive tackle, and Tyler Gaines is a guard. But so there's some run schemes where you actually have to pull and go into the middle or pull and block your defensive tackle. We get that. That's pretty much what we're saying. Now, Myles Garrett next week, I'll be happy if he gets one. I mean, look, if he gets one. If he gets one, I think
because that's going to be somebody that's
you going
to see. Yeah. Because when they get that's difference between
I'm talking about out of 10.
But that's my point. That's how you feel about that, right? But what you said about Quinn Williams, I'm saying that's the difference between two. Like now that you're going up, he's like, oh, that's my teammate. I'm not going to try to hurt him really. Myles Garrett going to be like, man, get this dude out of my way.
Right.
Especially as a guy like Tyler Guy, Myles Garrett's not gonna have. I'm not saying he don't have respect for him, but he's not gonna have respect for him in the sense of you ain't made a name for yourself yet. So I'm going. I don't care. I don't care if I do you in the worst way.
Right, and I'm trying to instill fear.
Yeah.
So when you see me,
right,
you're gonna see me.
Exactly.
You're gonna see me.
Oh, you was a rookie that I got 5 sacks on.
Right.
Like, that's it. I remember you.
Right. Yeah. So now that throws this question to me because like you're saying, I know Jordan, you were saying that it's kind of difficult. It's kind of hard to really gauge and scale training because you don't know if those guys really putting in the max effort and trying to get these things done. Right.
Yes.
Right. So it's kind of difficult to really for certain say he got the better of him because he was better than him. Versus, was he really kind of okay? But here's a question that I have for either one of you. Were you about to say something?
No, go ahead.
This is a question for any one of y'all. Any one of you guys can speak up on this. Now, obviously, we want our defense to be able to get in the backfield every play, and then on the flip side, we want our offense not to be able to let anybody in that backfield, right? And do anything. We want our receivers to catch everything, but then we also want our corners not to let nothing go by, right? So now we got these right here. So what would you guys say is a good ratio for to say I feel good about defense with what I saw, and I also feel good about our offense for what I saw? What is a ratio that you feel better coming out from this training camp?
I wouldn't say. I would ultimately like if you combine all of it to one. I want it to relatively be the same. You want them to
50-50?
like almost, not quite exactly 50-50.
But when you say a good ratio, what are you saying? What are our expectations going into training camp, or are our expectations?
What you see tomorrow? I'm not when we're going into the first. I'm not even looking at September first season in the game right now.
No. I'm talking about like right now versus like. Like when we come back tomorrow and do another.
Tomorrow.
Okay.
What would you?
Like,
how would you gauge it? What's a good ratio?
So I don't know how to put a ratio on it. But for me each position group, I would say that like I'm not even worried about the receivers. I would say that like I think the receivers are good. I think the O-line, we need to see that about the O-line. The running backs, I feel like the running backs are okay. We need to see about Jalen Blue.
We need to see about the corners too. To be
yes,
honest.
and then that's where we go. So I feel like if we're saying the ratio about what should we look at more, I would say defense more because they had a crazy.
What is he talking about? Like winning though, like winning the rep. That's what you're talking about, right?
Oh, winning the rep versus. Oh, okay.
So I'm saying 50-50, and I'm not trying to say like, for instance, like Siobhan Revell and CeeDee Lamb. Like Siobhan Revell should win the 50% of the times. No, I'm saying out of 10 times, and like I know Vach on Bar, shouts out to Vach, where I would either do the 10 rep concept, right? Out of 10 times, I'm expecting Revel to win 3 because you're talking about a potentially all pro between George Pickens.
You're not talking about potentially. You are talking.
Yeah.
About
Okay.
all
You're right.
pros.
So you want. You're right. You're right. So between George Pickens and
CeeDee Lamb,
You expect them to win.
You're talking about
the majority of the time,
top
right?
two top 10 receivers in the
Yes,
league.
you're right. You're expecting them to win the majority of the time, but you want Siobhan Ravel to win 3 times.
But see,
right?
we talked about this last year.
But then, like for instance, I would say this between, let's say like
the linebackers.
Tito Abanya and Tyler Smith. Tyler Smith is top 2 in the league, right? I'm expecting him to win maybe 1 or 2 reps. So it goes back and forth. So holistically speaking, you want them to like, if I'm coming to like the defense and offense, as they said, iron sharpens iron. I want them to win the offense to win some reps, and then I want the defense to win some reps. I just want I don't want them to be like just, all right, the offense just had a crazy day. Like before, you know how it was before pads? I was getting nervous when they were like, yeah, Dak Prescott's holding clinics. Like we know Dak Prescott's good, right? We know CD's good. We knew George Pickens is good, but they know how to they shouldn't be dominating like that. Like they should be winning every rep.
Yes, they should.
Every rep. They should be winning every rep.
I think they should.
If you want a defense, because ultimately speaking, right, you want your defense to be there to go the distance, right? I'm not trying to say that these are Super Bowl contenders, right? But you want your defense.
I would say this offense is a Super Bowl contending offense.
Right. But you want your defense to be almost up there. You want them to compete, not like dominate. You want them to compete with Super Bowl.
I feel like it's not even fair because you're dealing with an offense that is building off of what they did last year. They got all off-season reps last year. They got all full-season reps last year. Now they're coming into camp where everybody's like, you see Dak and GP's chemistry.
Yeah.
It's great.
Yeah.
Like that's versus basically a whole new defense, like a whole new scheme, new rookies, new free agents. Everybody's still trying to learn how to communicate and all that.
100% agree.
This if we're talking about next year and say we had a whole season, I would say you're saying yes. But if you're talking about who's going to win the majority of the reps, I would expect the offense to win the majority of the reps.
So let me ask you a question. So, and this is what happened, because we're just going straight off of facts. This is straight facts. First day of pads, defense dominated.
Yeah.
Dominated. So, are we concerned about the offense?
No.
Because you're saying they should win. So that's basically what I'm saying. So I'm saying is like you want the defense to win. Like I'm saying certain facets of the defense to win. Like
to me, I'm
not trying to talk about just skill players. Like,
yeah, I know. But for me, like to me, that's another thing why I say I take training camp with a grain of salt. To me, they're working on scheme and technique. To me, that's what I'm focused on is the technique of it. And you getting good reps and getting versus the first team guys if you're a second team or rookie or whatever. I'm worried about your technique and you getting reps in training camp. All the other stuff that you're talking about, like dominating and all this, like you said, the defense might have won that day, but coming into training camp, to me, I take that with a grain of salt because what was the offensive objective going into that? Then, like you said, defense came like, yeah, we done. And Dak and them like, what? We wasn't even trying. We over here working on this and that. Y'all think y'all really gonna take us? All right, GP, go. Let me put this dot on you in the end zone.
Right.
So to me, it's like, what was the philosophy going into it? What is everybody's individual goals going into it? That's why I'm like,
I still want to see the defense be competitive.
Yeah.
I still want them to be
I think they're still going to be competitive because they're all naturally competitive.
Well, no, I'm saying like for instance, I'm liking what I'm seeing from the defense. Like I'm liking the fact that Siobhan Revel is winning some reps. I'm liking the fact that there's so much more PBUs, and this is not basically PBUs like like you were saying beforehand. There's one thing about you have camp fatigue, right? And then you start to know the tells of, I don't care how good your quarterback is, right? You'll start to understand his tendencies.
Yes.
A lot
That's another
more.
thing too that we
A
were
lot
talking about
more,
last year,
right?
about
But
defensive getting picks and stuff. I'm like,
right.
they're running the same
But
plays
this
and stuff
exactly. But these are more so like these plays are like, hey, I'm starting to know that this cornerback is sticking on this guy like they're stride for stride, right? It's not like, okay, I'm anticipating that Dax, because he likes to throw to this portion right here, so I'm going to camp my behind right here because I know he's going to throw right
But
here.
that happens sometimes.
It does happen, but like I'm saying for camp, it happens a lot more times than not. This is like when Siobhan Revelle was going stride for stride
Especially
with
because Shotty's not going to pull out all the stops.
right.
So you're gonna
That's what I'm saying.
you're gonna run a handful of plays. You're gonna run the fade. You're gonna run the back shoulder. So
Yeah, but you want your DBs to be there for stride. I don't want it to be where it's like this is just when I say like he's holding a clinic. I'm like
I haven't seen anybody really get burnt though. Who got burnt?
CD Lamb just did it a couple times. He was the one that was burning people. Like he did burn Siobhan Revelle. He did burn like there was like a gap in whatever.
So I didn't see too much of the CD tape. All the CD
but
I saw.
I'm like
the only CD I saw was them comparing CD to GP.
Yeah, right. So, but anyway, but here's the thing though, right? For instance, I'm glad that you said this. And this is one of those cool things about what camp is and everything like that. And I like how they're about to play the Rams. Caleb Downs, right? They harp on Caleb Downs a lot. How he's like, hey, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice,
Shame on me.
Shame on me, right? And he takes that.
Times can't get fooled again.
Yeah, so he takes that philosophy to the head. Like, if there's something that he sees, he's like, all right, I know I'm going to be doing now, so I've seen it before. Where now, like I know how to position myself, and these people are starting to get better, more and more and more. Like, okay, this is how fast the NFL is going, or whatever, like that, right? And so, like, oh, okay. Rashawn Gary, I don't care what anybody says. He is, I'm not saying he's like top 10, but he's one of the better defensive ends in the league, right? He's helping forge, if you will, Terrence Steele, right? Terrence Steele's like, okay, I think I need to get faster when it comes to this guy who has speed to power. Terrence, yeah, I think he's getting better. I think
at Terrence Steele, big old age, you think?
Yeah, I think everybody can get better, and I think
I'm not saying everybody can get better, but
because this is the whole thing where iron sharpens iron, right? I do think that you can get like
the steel's iron is not steel; it's plastic.
Oh yeah,
My
yeah.
goodness, my
But
goodness.
but you see what I'm saying? Like so, like Tyler Booker, Cooper Beebe, right? They're starting to get more and more, you know.
See that, and that makes more sense to me because now you're going against somebody like
Quentin Williams and Kenny Clark.
Yes.
So that's what I'm saying. Iron sharpens iron.
They're all still Kenny a little bit out of his coming out of it.
He's still one of the better defensive linemen in the NFL.
Versus, I don't know. I think Steele has already met his potential of what we're ever gonna see out of Steele. That's why you said that.
I think he's has his potential.
I also think if we're talking about in season, I don't think Steele gives. Rashawn Gary gives Steele that much problem.
Let me ask you a question though. Terrence Steele at his peak, right?
I just said I don't see Rashawn Gary.
Was Terrence Steele at his peak last year?
No, I don't. I think.
You think
I think Steele is at where he's at, and he's not gonna go.
I think he could get
at a ceiling.
Yes.
I think he could get better. I think he could get close to where he was in 2023.
Yes, that was his best season, and I don't think he's ever going back to
I think he can.
He's already been 2 years removed from his injury. I think it's 2 or 3 years removed from his injury.
Right, and I do think that this is
he's at where he's at.
I think this is a new offensive line.
There's a reason why I've been saying we need to pick up another tackle.
Yeah, but for left or right?
Both.
So the thing is, no, I do think though. I'm not trying to say that Terrence Steele. I think that this is going to make him better. I think this new line's going to make him better because I know the original statement was, who do we expect? Like what the ratio is going to be? I think, as I'm saying, if you put all the position groups together, right? I think it should all equal up to about like this, right? You kind of want, yes, when it comes to Siobhan Revelle and CeeDee Lamb and Kobe Durant, excuse me, CeeDee Lamb and GP will get Siobhan Ravel, you want them to dominate, right? If they're not, I mean, I guess that means there's a potential that Siobhan Ravel is going to be great, but more times and oftentimes than not, you're like, okay, what's going on with these two? What's going on with what's going on with Dak Prescott?
That's my pushback on that is.
But then, like at the same time,
dominate to me, I don't know. Like,
I don't want them to win every rep.
I know you don't want them to win every rep, but every rep might be something different in their head every rep.
But they're not winning every rep.
The coach might just say, hey, on this rep, try this technique. You're trying a whole new technique. So you might get beat that rep because you're trying a new technique.
But you don't want them to get beat every single rep. That's I think we're saying the same thing.
Well, I'm not. I'm not in this. It should be you win some, you lose some, you win some, you lose some kind of thing. I'm already knowing how our offense. I think we have a dominant offense, and we're gonna be going against some serious defensive line. And I believe I would want our defense to give them so much problems. I want to see even though I know we're probably not going to see that because we have a dynamic offense. GP ain't just no scrub.
Neither is Quentin Williams.
Right, but neither is CD, neither is Dak Prescott. So I know that in a game that we see playing is only like 7 to 10 in fourth quarter because some defense was really getting in the backfield. Some defense was holding us. I want to see our defense give our offense, which I know is hot, right, problems. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to see our offense win. I say, if anything, I'll be satisfied if our offense
dominate, but they give them good reps.
Huh?
I was thinking about what you're gonna say. I was gonna say, what I think you're gonna say is, you want to see our offense be dominated, but you want to see the defense compete.
No, I want to see our defense dominate. That's what I want to see. Because defense gonna win games. Defense gonna win games.
Look.
Listen. You already know what our offense is able to do. Now, if our defense, because we got the same people we have, it's not like
we don't.
On offense, we got pretty much yes. So we know what we got on offense. We already know they're gonna go and dominate. What team in the league right now do you don't think we're not gonna be able to just dominate on offense?
The Rams.
That is a true statement. But other than the Rams,
they get AD.
Right, but what I'm saying is,
he'll get AD.
Yeah, they're telling me trying to get this dude, but that's crazy. But let's say that's one out of the 16.
But I still believe we put up points on them.
Yeah, we would. Yeah. That's right. But I'm not saying we're not gonna put up. I'm saying give it a problem. I ain't say stop them like goose egg us. You know what I'm saying? You know,
I don't think anybody is gonna.
But what I'm saying is, I want our defense. I want to see our defense dominate because if that's gonna let me know that we.
You don't see that.
No, I do. I want to see that because I want to.
No,
see,
I'm not saying that. That's not what you want to see. I'm saying I don't think you are gonna see that.
I don't think so either, Jordan.
I'm saying you don't want to see that either.
I do. I think
I do.
I agree with you. I want to see them dominate, but I don't think that's going to happen.
Right.
Because of what you just said and because what I said earlier about all the experience that the offense has. What I do want to see is just competitive fire. Competitive, like you said, Caleb Downs. Oh, you fooled me once, you fooled me twice. Hey, you ain't going to get me with that one again, bro. Hey, you're not going to get, hey, Chevelle, I'm going to be right there with you.
That's what I want to see.
I want to see them. I want to see the dogs. That's what I think. That's what I think.
Right.
I
believe you see the dogs. I'm thinking you're going to get some dominance out of our defense. I do. But that's what I want to see.
I will say the defensive line, a couple of padded practices, they have dominated.
But that's different. I expect our D line. I'm talking about overall defense.
I'm talking overall defense.
Yes.
I
expect our D line to dominate.
If the D line dominates, the defense dominates.
Right.
It starts at the line.
But here's the thing though. Maybe I'm pushing more.
And I think the word dominate. I think the word dominate to me means it's so polarizing. So that's another thing too.
Right.
What do you mean by that?
But
I
I'm
think
more.
it's polarizing. Like when you say dominate, like I got my foot on your neck.
Yeah, that's what they did.
And I don't think that.
That is a fact. That is what happened. That is literally. We'll go after.
I don't see it that way.
Well, we'll see tomorrow. But hold on. The thing is, the reason why I say that because I don't think there's an NFL team, like you said, the Rams will be able to dominate our offense. We can't score.
I don't think they'll dominate.
But if our because we have that such a high power offense, I believe. But if our defense put in work on that offense, if we're talking about high power, I say we shutting folks out. I'm saying not everybody gonna be able to score
now,
like Dallas scores.
I will say that going into the season, I expect our defense, just because they played our offense so much, to be able to dominate other offenses.
Right.
Unless we're talking about
iron
top.
sharpens iron. This is what I'm talking
Right, but I don't want to see. I don't want to see.
I don't
our
even
offense
think
killing
it's.
our defense. Though.
I don't think it's iron. To me, it's not iron sharpens iron because I feel like our offense ain't getting their iron sharpened. That's just how I feel. Like I could be there.
Did not. Well, I don't know. Quentin Williams sharpened something.
Well, yes. When I'm saying all this, I'm strictly thinking linebackers and everyone behind them.
Gotcha.
I'm not talking about our D line because I feel like Kenny Clark.
So you're saying that there was no pass breakups at all?
I'm not saying that there's no pass breakups, but I'm just saying because I'm looking at everything. Everything's gonna change once preseason and season starts. Everybody's mentality. Everybody's gonna be worried about getting cut. Everybody's gonna be worried about this and that.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Training camp to me. I expect the defense to be better. I just don't.
Okay, this is the only person I don't think their iron's not getting sharpened, and that's George Pickens. I don't think his iron is ever gonna get sharpened because I think his iron's already as sharp as it can be.
I don't think so.
I don't think anybody.
And you saying that is why I'm saying the offense's iron's not getting sharpened. I'm not talking about O-line because
CeeDee Lamb,
their
his iron sharpened.
I don't think
because I don't think if he wasn't dropping them,
his routes were as.
And that's why I'm saying that like Dak's iron. Who's sharpening Dak's iron?
Some of his passes are a little bit behind.
Dak can go show somebody.
But who's sharpening his iron? Who's making Dak actually like? I don't think you're gonna see that.
If you're stride on stride,
but you said Dak was being beat down.
If you're stride on stride, like how they've been, right? You're making Dak fit his.
But he has been.
Yeah.
But that's not new for Dak.
Huh?
That's not new for Dak.
It's still sharpening it.
No, it's just getting him in rhythm.
Okay, and then also
it's getting him back in football.
I'll say this.
Yeah.
I will say this. What also sharpens him up is when you have these stunts or whatever you have these blitzes, and that's what happened last. What happened yesterday, where he was getting. I won't say tore up, but his face would have been in the ground so many times. His clock was being sped up a lot.
That's not new for him.
Apparently it was because he was off all over.
That's not new for. Don't say no. Apparently, Dak got like 10 sacks against Atlanta. Don't say no. Apparently, that
was new for him too. That was new for him too.
Yeah, and again, we're in training camp. If this was in season, they're probably switching everything up to prevent that from happening. But
I still want him to be faced with that over and over again, just in case the TG is the TG of old. So I want his clock to be sped up, so not sped up, but to be like, all right, this is where I need to throw. This is where I need, like, if I'm getting sped up right here, this is where I need to throw the ball at this spot right here.
So this is a question I have because what you said here now, y'all make me almost feel that you guys don't have nothing for this question that I'm about to ask you.
Oh, I have a lot.
This question I'm about to ask.
You have a lot of answers?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, because you were like, Jordan, you were saying that no one was really on offense was really getting their iron sharpened.
When I say that, I'm just thinking of Dak, and I'm thinking about
the
receivers.
But
just Dak and the receivers.
But here's my question though. With all of that, what we have, and I think I know one person you're going to say. What would be your biggest concern that we have going on
we all know
tomorrow?
We all know what he's going to say.
Yeah. But
go ahead.
Go ahead and say it.
Tyler Guyton.
That's his biggest concern. Honestly, and he's not wrong. When it comes to the offense, the biggest ones are your offensive tackles, right? And those are your biggest question marks.
But do you have any on defense? That's your concern?
Yeah, I have. I don't think I have concerns.
Because I do.
I don't have concerns because I believe in Christian Parker in the scheme. But I do want to see how, because everybody's playing a new position.
I'm Siobhan Ravel.
I'm like,
you have concern? What, from
I don't have
holding?
concern. I don't have concerns.
His holding? That's a concern?
His holdings is a concern. I have concerns about I won't say when I say safety, I mean like Jalen Thompson gets his and played, right? I have concerns about that. Our linebackers, I'm still not convinced.
Well, if you're not convinced, you're not going to be convinced coming out of training camp.
You don't know. If I see something different, I'll be saying something.
You done seen all the clips. Like, I don't think anything you see tomorrow is going to change.
A clip is one rep. I want to see multiple reps. If I see consistency today and tomorrow, then I'm going to be whatever.
A 2-day sample size is going to change your mind?
1 day sample size will get me to be like, you know what, I might be wrong, and if he's consistent too, I'll 100%.
But that dude could just be having a good day. Then what happens next week?
That remains to be seen, because then I still would be convinced that he's good.
We're gonna have to go when they go see the Rams.
Y'all gonna have to tape it for me. You gotta have to tape it for me and stay straight on. What's his face?
That's where I think iron's gonna sharpen iron. When they have to go, when our receivers and Dak has to go see the Rams, I think that's where the iron sharpens iron comes in. But iron sharpens iron. Everybody.
Sure? Are you sure that's an iron sharp? Because you can be sharpening Myles Garrett's iron.
I'm talking about the receivers. That's what I'm talking about. Those, because they just
you're giving Kobe Durant a bad rap, man. Kobe Durant's no slouch.
I'm talking about our receivers versus the Rams receivers. I'm saying, you're talking about I'm giving them a bad rap.
Yeah, because you're saying,
Josh, if this is Monday Night Football and you on the 1 yard line, 10 out of 10 times I'm taking GP. I'm sorry. If Kobe Durant,
bro. Yeah, I'm taking GP.
Are you serious?
I'm taking
GP.
With Dak, I'm taking GP.
I don't care if it's the Rams either. I'm taking GP and CD.
Okay, so you're over here talking about Durant.
So what? But that's what you're saying. That like, okay, I want to see when it comes to the Rams.
Yes, because it's going to be a different fire.
Okay,
it's going to be a different history. I'm telling you, it's going to be a different fire. It always is. Anytime they play them, it's a different competitive fire.
Let me remind you. The last time Trip
it'd be different.
Saw CeeDee Lamb. That dude was burnt toast.
And that's an all pro and that's an all pro corner. And that's an all pro corner that's seen all pro receivers. So that's what I'm saying. And that iron is gonna. They all.
That was an iron that was sharpened.
Because when he comes on the field, best believe it's gonna be, hey, you better bring your A game today because I got something to pick with you. Yeah. Versus any of them DBs out there, I guarantee you, CD and GP going into training camp was like, I don't know, is Bland gonna be out there? Because I don't. All them dudes have to earn their respect. Look, they gonna come out for Duffy. That's
all I'm saying is this. Last year, you would have thought that Trip McDuffie was on a mattress commercial. Because all you saw was him on his back the whole time. Like,
yes.
You thought he would have been like,
but
Tempur-Pedic.
But that's going to be different when you're talking about one-on-ones. When we don't have to worry about all this other stuff that's going on in the game. We're talking about they're going to be one-on-ones. This is different from when we're talking about in-game. And you have a whole bunch of different.
He was one-on-one with CeeDee Lamb.
It's different though. We're talking about schemes. We're talking about schemes and how the offense and how the flow of the game is going. When we're talking about training camp, we're talking about one-on-ones where you're one-on-one outside and you know you're only gonna get about 3 different throws. Right. So that's what I'm saying. That's when the iron sharpens iron.
That's the same thing with Siobhan Ravel. Like.
It's for Siobhan Ravel, yes.
And Kobe Durant, and even Kobe Durant.
Kobe Durant,
They were doing pass breakups when they know.
Yeah. Kobe Durant is really good for Flournoy.
Then we really bad. If Kobe Durant is really good for Flournoy, then we are not good.
No, That's just how stupid our receivers are.
So Trent McDuffie's the same way.
Trent McDuffie has more tools in his bag to be able to handle somebody like GB. He's gonna make them work, especially if we're out running on the outside. We're just gonna run these one-on-one reps.
Man, I just think that.
Now, when it's an end game and you gotta worry about, CD just went in motion. They over here bumping, and now I don't have CD no more. I have GP or I have G. Like, if you gotta go back and forth GP and CD all game, I expect you to get burnt like toast. Like, that's not even fair because
you can't even learn somebody. You can't even figure out what they're doing.
I gotta deal with the dude who's super physical. He's gonna run slant or he's gonna run a go ball, and then I gotta deal with CD who's gonna go in motion, and I gotta run all the day. Like, that's not even fair. Like, what?
That's what I'm saying. That's what you're gonna see.
That's what you're gonna see. But when it's training camp and he's like, "Oh no, I could just get you one-on-one," just like when basketball players be talking about when they're in the gym and they're working in the off season, and they talk about, "Hey, we ain't running no screens. We ain't doing none of that. It's one-on-one. You ain't getting your whole team to come help you out. It's me and you. That's it." That's what I mean when I say that.
All right, you guys heard from me first. Hey, Trent McDuffie, get ready. TD Jakes. That's all I'm going to say. We need to have a TD Jakes drop. That's what we need to have.
All right. Well, look. You hear from us. We're gonna be back here tomorrow.
Yeah, we definitely gonna come back with a report on whose iron got sharpened.
Yeah, we're gonna find out. We're gonna find out if those clips that we were looking at was we're gonna see if those clips we was watching and listening to those reporters and see what they were saying, because it is a little different when you're out there seeing it yourself. So this is gonna be great. I can't wait, man, to see what's going on and come back and let you guys know what we got, and we're gonna give it to you where it is, and that's how it goes. So this is if you haven't yet, hit that below button, that like button below, and go ahead and hit that subscribe. Yep. So when we come back again, you know what's up. You come check us out and see what we doing, and that's how we do it here. We're setting it straight with family. Me, Bobby B, boys Jordan and Joshua. We out.
We brought it.